My work was in customer service, and I worked there for almost 19 years, and they closed that office, and some of us became unemployed. And so CareerLink helped me go back to school, helped me get fund money to go back to school, where I was able to focus on business secretarial tasks, how to use Microsoft Office and use computers although I did use computers and some Microsoft in my previous job, I didn't have up-to-date skills to the most current Microsoft Office. And so I needed to be, my skills needed to be updated. And so CareerLink helped me do that.
So that basically, tell us basically the trajectory of where, if you don't mind sharing, where you worked and sort of what you did there for, I believe you said 19 years.
Yes, I worked.
And then what you're doing now.
Okay. I worked for Secor Electronics, which was bought by Aris in 2008. And they were a telecommunications company. They provided equipment for cable, modems, how you get your Comcast cable into your home.
Right.
That sort of business is what they were in. And I worked with, when I lost my job, I handled all the Canadian market, all the Canadian customers, and a few American customers, or US customers rather. So we took orders it was very technical, but I wasn't technical in my job, but I had to be able to read part books and understand how to configure amplifier numbers and some of the products that we sold. So it was a very fast-paced work environment, which I liked, and worked with great people and worked with customers all over the world. So over the span of time that I was there. So taking their orders and helping them get their shipments shipped on time and working out any details that maybe they wanted to pull a shipment in, and I had to work with different departments, logistics, to see if we could do that, and also with manufacturing.
So it was somewhat tech oriented, but you mentioned that you just needed after you had basically that job, you lost that job at that point.
Right, there was no job like that in this area. And so I'd also worked in customer service at another company, at Murata Electronics before that. And so I liked working with customers. I like helping people. That's my heartbeat, is helping others. And customer service was, Aris they were world renowned for their customer service levels. And I was really proud to work for that company.
So then, obviously, in 2008, things have to change.
Well, no, Aris bought Secor in 2008, but I lost my job in 2013.
Okay.
So I had worked there 19 years, and so 2013 I lost my job, and then I was unemployed because I couldn't find a job that was similar to what I did. And so I worked with CareerLink, and they had in-house training in Microsoft Office, customer service. They helped you learn how to write resumes and cover letters to employers. They had provided job fairs for us to go to. And then they checked to see if I qualified for funding, which I did because I was a displaced worker. And because I couldn't find a job like I had been working in.
So what did you do, I guess, I imagine for most folks, if you don't mind, could you share with me your age?
I'll be 75 in April.
That's a pretty late, even back 2013, that's a pretty late time in life to be looking, to have to do a switch and try and find a new job, especially when you've been doing one for 19 years. You mentioned obviously what the folks here at CareerLink had helped you with, but what were you looking for? But you mentioned you love customer service, but is there any specific...
I just love working.
Wow.
I love working. I was born and raised in West Virginia on a farm, and we worked all the time, you know, and I love school. I have been a lifelong learner. I have a degree from Penn State in business logistics that took me 14 years to earn. I worked for a great company. I worked over 22 years for a great company called General Dynamics. And then I worked 5 years for Murata Electronics, and then I went to Secor, and I worked 19 years there, which was later called Aris. And so I went back to school at South Hills School of Business and Technology in State College. And it was really interesting how I went there, because I was driving down the road one day near the school, and my car just pulled into a parking lot. And lo and behold, I was in class the next week. I audited classes for a year and paid for them out of my own pocket. And then CareerLink was able to get funding for me, and I was able to attend there as a full-time student in August of 2016, and I graduated in September 2018.
And you now work?
I work at Penn State University. I don't know, I just love helping people. I can't explain it. I love to see people smile, and I love to be where the action is.
One of the final things I want to ask you, because the next two people obviously are younger than yourself, you know, is this whole piece is about jobs. The whole story is about regionalizing jobs, including in the State College Center County area. So obviously your story is very unique and interesting, but I think one thing it serves to show is that no matter what age you're at, you know, some people think that, oh, I'm, you know, this I'm done, you know, this is, you know, getting too complex for me. You can always go back and learn more and get another job, no matter where you are in life. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, and also it's easy to do, because CareerLink, if you don't qualify for funding, or you can't afford to take classes on your own, say at a university or at South Hills, CareerLink has courses here in Microsoft Office that all these businesses use, and they can learn those skills here by coming here. And this is free. CareerLink is free, and it's a wonderful environment to work in. So there's opportunities to upgrade your work skills and go out and work if you want to try that.
Last two questions I have for you. One is, in today's world, online applications are a big thing. Applying for jobs online is an up and coming phenomenon. So
it is the thing.
But obviously, I would think from your generation, the face-to-face interviews and face-to-face interaction was still a huge. It still is today as well. But especially, I would think with many of the jobs you applied for and such, the face-to-face interaction made a big difference as well.
It did, and
if you could, just address those two, sort of, you know, the mixture, because nowadays most people think that the online thing is much more important, but the face-to-face interaction still holds an important place.
Well, it is. They can see your smile, and they can see your sincerity, and if you're, your interest in the work. You know, you ask questions about your job, and the job culture is very important. And you can, when you walk into an office for that interview, you can look around you and see what others are doing. And if they're busy, you can get a good feel, do I want to work here? Do I want to be in this office? And I think that's why, the face-to-face interview is very important to me.
Definitely. Last question I have for you, and that is, if you were to give advice to someone, say, getting out of high school right now, in the job market specific to Center County job market, specific to, we'll say, this region, what advice would you give them?
Go to school. Go to a school, if they're not sure that they want to go to a large school like Penn State, because go to South Hills School of Business and Technology, because that school is customer service oriented. It's family oriented. Those people treat you like they are part of your family, and they care about you. The instructors care about you and take the time to go over things that maybe are harder for one person than another, and try to get, more education. Try to get, even if it's at a tech school, a hands-on school, if you're not a university type student, try to get hands-on training to get yourself in the door of a good employer.